Hey everyone, welcome to Intellipaat. Since the evolution of IT industry, new software development practices keep on getting introduced. DevOps being the latest one has really been an outstanding performer out there. But recently, a new buzzword came into the picture, which is NoOps. Is it really the end of DevOps? This is what we're going to discuss in this video on DevOps versus NoOps. But before we move forward, do subscribe to Intellipaat's YouTube channel so that you never miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Now, let's have a look at the agenda for this video. So guys, first and foremost, we'll discuss what exactly is DevOps and what exactly is NoOps. After that, we'll understand the need of both DevOps and NoOps, followed by the tools used in both of them. Then we'll discuss the benefits and challenges in both DevOps and NoOps. Then finally, we'll conclude our video by discussing which one has got a better future. We'll also have a short quiz based on the video. Make sure you put down your answers in the comment section below. Also guys, if you're looking to get certified in DevOps, then do check out Intellipaat's DevOps Architect Masters course in collaboration with IBM. The link is given in the description box. Alright guys, now without any further ado, let's get started. As discussed, let us first understand both of these terms, that is DevOps and NoOps. First and foremost, what exactly is DevOps? So guys, DevOps is a set of practices that combine software development and information technology operations, which aims to shorten the system's development lifecycle and provides continuous delivery with high software quality. In short, it is nothing but a practice or methodology of making developers and operation folks work together. Hence the term DevOps. Now let us understand what exactly is NoOps. NoOps means no operations. It's a new concept introduced in the IT that an IT environment can become automated and independent enough from the underlying infrastructure that there is no need for a dedicated team on-premise to manage software, which means no need of any operations team as well. Being in a development team, all you have to do is to take care about the developing your software. The management part, that your automated systems will take care of, right? Now guys, let us move forward and understand the needs for both of these terms, that is DevOps and NoOps. First, the need for DevOps. So guys, before DevOps, there were many models for the software development lifecycle which were introduced, like the waterfall model, the agile model, where the waterfall model had many flaws like gaps between customers, software requirements and developers, right? Which were further overcome by Agile methodology. Despite the innovation and changes, Agile too had some flaws, like there were gaps between developers and operation folks. So much types of gaps about lack of communication between development and operation folks were overcome by the introduction of the DevOps methodology. Guys, you can check out this diagram over here. So guys, DevOps basically emphasizes on bringing all the development and operations plus IT infrastructure guys together, which includes developers, system admins, QAs, testers, etc. Also called as DevOps engineers, having the end-to-end responsibility from gathering information for development to testing to deployment of infrastructure to application deployment, along with the monitoring and also getting feedback from the end users for making any better improvements, right? So this process of developing, testing, deployment and monitoring gathering keeps on going for the better results, right? So in a nutshell, first you code, then build, then test, release, deploy, operate, monitor and then plan. So guys, in DevOps, the major focus is towards the automation in order to increase the efficiency while deployment, and it focuses on development, testing and implementation with equal importance. So guys, I hope this was helpful enough to make you understand the need for DevOps. Now let's move forward and understand the need for NoOps, right? As we already know by now that DevOps works on the idea of integrating development and operations team, which is smart, but it sure proves to be troublesome to implement this idea. So guys, the DevOps process is hard to achieve, especially in large organizations. And once implemented, it is hard to maintain as you cannot really guarantee that both teams will always be on the same page about everything. And guys, DevOps involves dependencies of two teams on each other, which means that during an unfortunate circumstance, one of them fails to get their job done. It will reflect as a failure on the other team, and also the whole software development process falls apart. While organizations that implemented DevOps were met with the same case scenarios on the occasions, the effectiveness of this approach was being questioned, right? And that impulse to overcome this hurdle led to the concoction of the NoOps approach. So guys, NoOps approach totally eliminated the dependency factor and enabled the development team to focus only on developing, and rest of the management, security patches, every operation part will be automated by the platform given to them, right? Everything gets automated. All you need to care about is developing the code and just upload it on your platform which has been provided to you. and the operations part, everything will be taken care by that particular software itself, or we would say automated system itself, right? So guys, that's all for the needs of both DevOps and NoOps. Now let us move forward and discuss about the tools used in both. So first and foremost, the tools in DevOps. As we are aware that DevOps is being widely used in the industry, and for that various tools are being used. But before that, we need to understand the process and tools used behind them. There are like 5 stages in DevOps which you see on the screen right now, which are continuous development, continuous integration, continuous testing, deployment, and monitoring. So guys, for continuous development, previously in waterfall method, your software product's parts gets broken into multiple pieces or subparts for the short development lifecycle. But in this stage, your software is getting developed continuously. And the tools used in this, so guys, as we code and build in this stage, so one can use Git to maintain the different versions of code, and to build or package the code into an executable file, we use a reliable tool called as Maven, right? Now the next point is the continuous development. So guys, in this stage, if your code is supporting a new functionality, it is then integrated with an existing code continuously. As the continuous development keeps on taking place, the existing code needs to be integrated with the latest one continuously. Also, the changed code should ensure that there are no errors in the current environment for them to work smoothly, right? And the tools used behind them, guys, Jenkins is the tool that is used for the continuous integration here. One can pull the latest code from the Git repository, of which you can produce the build and deploy on the test or the production server, right? Next point is the continuous testing. So guys, in this stage, your developed software is being tested continuously in order to detect the bugs using the several automation tools. So for the tools used for them, so for the QA testing purposes, one can use the automated tools for it. And the tool widely used for automation testing is the Selenium, as it lets the QAs to test the codes in a parallel fashion to ensure that there is no error, incompetencies or flaws in the software, right? Now next is the continuous deployment, guys. In this, a stage where your code is being deployed for the production servers. Here you containerize your application and deploy it on the pipeline, where it is being managed by configuration management tools in order to establish and maintain consistency in the functional requirements and performance of your application. Or in other words, setting the consistency of configurations across all the servers. This is what happens in continuous deployment. So guys, the tools used behind them. So for containerization, you can use various containerization tools like Kubernetes, Docker, Docker Swarm, and there are many provided by the famous cloud providers like AWS, ECS or EKS, Azure Container Services, and Google Container Engine. And guys, for configuration management, there are like several tools which are Chef, Ansible, SaltStack, and many more, right? And when we talk about the continuous monitoring, so continuous monitoring is a very crucial part of the DevOps lifecycle, where it helps in providing the important information which basically helps you to ensure the service uptime and the optimal performance. The operations team get the results from the reliable monitoring tools to detect and fix the bugs or flaws in the application. And the tools used behind them, so several tools like Nagios, Splunk, ELK Stack, and Sensu are used for monitoring the application. They help you to monitor your application and servers closely to check their health and if they are operating actively or not. Any major issues detected by these tools are forwarded to the developers team for them to fix them in the continuous development phase. Now guys, when we talk about the tools in NoOps, so guys, NoOps is a buzzword, right? But this does not mean that it was never being implemented or it just showed up a few years ago. It is neither a new idea, rather it is more like a serverless computing, right? And the companies like Deloitte, Netflix, 9gag, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, so many huge companies are already using this methodology in some part of their task. How? Alright, let me just put up some examples here. So as we discussed, NoOps is all about eliminating the operations team, right? With NoOps, being a developer, you just need to write the code, make the push changes, and through proper systems to build, your application is automatically produced, ready for the deployment. So guys, in this way, the development team not need to communicate with the system administrators anymore and save the time devoted to infrastructural issues. We can say that NoOps represents a step forward in the innovation, and thanks to the proper tools, as it enables us to get a faster deployment process, even more than DevOps. How is that made possible? By using platform as a service in the cloud, or we can say function as a service, right? where it provides a platform allowing you to develop, run, and manage application functionalities without the complexity of building and maintaining the infrastructure typically associated with developing and launching an application, right? Now guys, there are many platform as a service provider out there, and three major providers are the AWS Cloud, Azure Cloud, and Google Cloud, and respectively providing their own function as a service. So guys, in AWS, we have AWS Lambda, which lets you run the code without provisioning or managing servers, right? And you pay only for the compute time you consume. There is no charge when your code is not running. And with Lambda, you can run your code virtually, any type of application or backend service, right? All with zero administration here. Just upload your code and Lambda takes care of everything required to run and scale your code with high availability, right? You can set up your code to automatically trigger or other AWS services or call it directly from any web or mobile application. And guys, in Azure, we have Azure Functions, an event-driven serverless compute platform that can also solve complex orchestration problems. Build and debug locally without additional setup, deploy and operate at scale in the cloud, and integrate services using triggers and bindings. And guys, in GCP, it provides you Google Cloud Functions, which is Google's serverless compute solution for creating event-driven applications. It is a joint product between Google Cloud Platform team and the Firebase team. They all fulfill the same agenda, but little differences in prices or configurations, speed, server provisioning, or even the security patches, etc. Right? Now guys, as we have discussed about the tools in both DevOps and NoOps as well as the need for both, right? Now let us move forward and discuss about the benefits of using both DevOps and NoOps followed by the challenges, right? So benefits of DevOps. As DevOps surged to popularity, it offered various compelling benefits to business such as the faster deployment. So guys, in DevOps, businesses can deploy new processes, systems and applications much more rapidly using DevOps approaches, right? And next point is the quicker delivery to market. Yes, it does deliver the product quickly to the market. So organizations claim that DevOps reduces a month's work to hours, right? This means that their products enter faster into the market, which in turn helps businesses stay ahead in the competition. Now, the third point is the improved customer experiences. So guys, we are all aware that in DevOps, it follows the continuous customer feedback implementation, right? So that means the feedback has been taken and it has been, rapidly implemented on the applications. So guys, if the businesses are able to develop solutions faster and more efficiently, they will be able to serve their customers better, right? With the constant feedbacks also by implementing them, right? They will be able to serve their customers better. So DevOps help the businesses develop faster and thus improve their customers' experience as well, right? And the another point to note is that you will get more time to innovate also. Since implementing DevOps helps businesses to streamline their process and improve efficiency, it leaves a lot of time for brainstorming and innovate new ideas also, right guys? Next is the faster problem solving and more employee engagement. So guys, DevOps requires teams to coordinate and communicate with each other, which results in higher employee engagement and inputs. This also helps in detecting any problem that may arise in the processes right then and there, as employees can brainstorm and coordinate together, right guys? So as we have discussed about the benefits of DevOps, now let us understand what are the challenges that people face while implementing DevOps. So the challenges of DevOps. So guys, it has got inconsistent environment, manual intervention, DevOps demands cultural changes, less skilled people are there, process issues, and it also demands speed over the security. Now guys, let us understand each of these challenges in brief. So for the inconsistent environments, implementing DevOps means that the code has to move around in different departments that might have different configurations and environments. Right, inconsistent environments throughout the organization may result in arising bugs and errors that can take hours to fix, right? And when we talk about the manual intervention, so DevOps also requires manual intervention, guys. And where there is manual intervention, there are human errors, right? And when we talk about DevOps demands cultural changes, right? So we are all aware that it is just not easy to change a company's culture on demand, right? You can influence it, shift it, it can evolve over the time, but it is near to impossible when it comes to instructing all your employees to adapt easily into changes the way they think, right? And act about the specific things. This shift requires a decent hierarchy in order to fill each empty spaces, isn't it? So when we talk about the less skilled people, guys, yes, there are less skilled people for DevOps. Developers are aware of the development and admin guys are aware of operations, but they don't easily get adapted to the new technologies, and you need to invest enough time to learn the new tools for configuration management, testing, deployment, and so on. So yes, that is one of the biggest challenges for the industry. Another point is process issues. In DevOps, the sheer speed with which feedback is requested and responding changes are made often eliminates all the opportunity to accurately consider the suggested changes as everyone could do before, right? And it usually takes time for the users to adjust to the new changes with the speed, right? And the last point, speed over security. So guys, security is always a concern, isn't it? The speed at which DevOps is implemented, the security team is mostly not in a picture here, as they usually are not part of the DevOps team, and there are fewer security practices in DevOps, and those are even implemented post the primary process, not during them. Right now, as we discussed about the challenges and benefits of DevOps, now let us move forward and discuss about the benefits of NoOps. So guys, in the benefits of NoOps, the first point to note is that it maximizes the development time. Since it purely insists you to focus on the development part, you do not have to go back and forth with the operations team. With this, the developer can quickly roll out changes, features, and entire app faster than ever before. And also, hitting milestones will be a cup of tea here. With quicker development, it will be really easier for companies to create more opportunities to generate revenue sooner because your software is getting completed before the schedule. Right. And the next point to note is that it is pocket friendly. As there is no idle time cost, since it is a serverless computing model, that means you as a consumer has to pay only for the duration of execution of a function and the number of functions executed. If a function is not executed, then no charges will be levied on you, right? Which ultimately eliminates any idle time, right? Now guys, the last point to note is that you become more productive. So more productivity is there since NoOps allows developers and operations team to do what they do the best, develop and operate, right? Both departments of a business can double down and become more productive thanks to the extra focus and time gained by the continuous development model. Right now, as we discussed about the benefits, let us move forward and discuss the cons or the challenges of using NoOps. So guys, the first point to note is that it increases the load on developers. There is no possibility that the need for ops team gets eliminated, as there is always a need for managing the infrastructure as well as the information remains about who uses services and related costs, right? Those types of responsibilities would ultimately bear down just on developers' shoulders, right? So the next point is there is no compatibility. Probably not every application is compatible with the latest platform as a service solutions, right? And the related transition to the complete automation will cause difficulties for companies also. Third point to note is that when there is no ops, there is no business intelligence. You want to do the business intelligence, then the ops team is your best option, guys. Since the data collection, storage, and analysis are specialties of IT operations for the need of measuring performance, but whatever the data is there, it is for your business, not just for IT. Since the businesses conduct productions and sales digitally, which results in increasing demand for the collection of data. The data collection process needs to happen across a wide variety of systems, from the mainframe to the cloud, to feed the machine learning algorithms that will fuel digital business changes and growth. IT operations must support all processes for collecting, storing, analyzing, and distributing reports across the hybrid environment, or the businesses invest in AI will be for nothing, right? And guys, another point to note is that there is a learning gap always. With enough time left for admins, they are easily learning to code and upskilling themselves, while they just have to do some minor security patches and server management. But developers on the other hand have to write the code and test it and just deploy it on any function as a service, and that platform will itself do the rest for them. But this is where these guys are not able to add something new to their skill sets. They are not able to learn the administration part, which is actually will be a new skill set for them, right guys? Now guys, the last point to note is that there is always a regulatory compliances and security issues. So guys, compliance cannot be outsourced. Regulations apply only if your applications run on premise or in the cloud. One needs to patch servers to close vulnerabilities, administrator access to sensitive information, and keep an eye on the activities of privileged users, right? The security teams often rely on IT operations in order to manage network policy, administer identity governance, and enforce controls so that they can focus on threats, incident response, and policy writing. Eliminating the operations team would be offset by the need to grow the security team, which would need to perform those functions as well, right guys? So guys, as we have understood the pros and cons of using both DevOps and NoOps, now let us move forward and understand, is there any future for NoOps, or is it going to be doomed, or is it an end for DevOps itself? So when we discuss about the future for NoOps, yes, NoOps does have a future ahead, and this is going to play a crucial role for many startups and product as a service companies. It will actually help them to go to the market quicker and grab the revenue as quickly as possible. Even it pretty much follows the agile methodology where you do the fast releases, right? And NoOps can easily provide this type of agility by quickly deploying the product for testing it. However, the future of NoOps may further lead to intelligent ops, where artificial intelligence will manage your software deployments with more accuracy. Like if an AI could learn or train itself to learn the patterns, where it can easily detect common errors or even inspect logs for detecting failures and learn from them. Such types of steps may be taken by AI for analyzing the patterns of what went possibly wrong and report it back to the respective teams. Isn't that cool? As I said, you cannot simply go on and implement this on legacy applications having their pre-setups already with heavy infrastructures. That would actually disrupt the whole workflow of the application. But yeah, the small scale application on premise or even on cloud can easily adapt this methodology, or even startups who are taking it from the scratch and want the quicker revenue. We cannot possibly say that it is the end of DevOps, since DevOps already has left its mark on large scale application and has proved to be a quite reliable methodology. It has its own pros and cons, right, which should not affect its reliability on the current industry. On the other hand, NoOps is an excellent choice for any software companies interested in scaling, optimizing development, and automating everyday procedures. But of course, they need to come up with solutions for the challenges which we discussed above, right? And guys, this approach was created out of the DevOps model itself, right? And with the goal of further automation and faster rollouts. It is more suitable for startup companies that can form their business around it from the beginning, because it is more difficult to reshape an entire business once a model like DevOps is already in place. So in the end, I would like to add that it totally depends on your business need and your infrastructure. Either of the methodologies will come in handy for you. But yeah, if it is about the large scale applications, then the intervention of a huge team with the process flow is very much needed. This is where DevOps will be helpful. But if it is for mid-range applications and you want to benefit the quicker revenue by spending less, then of course, going with the NoOps methodology would be a quite reliable choice for you. Right guys? So now guys, I have a question for you. Which one of the following options is related to NoOps? Either it is AWS EKS, is it Ansible, is it Docker, is it AWS Lambda, or AWS EC2, or Kubernetes? You can let us know your answers in the comment section below to know if you're correct. So guys, that's all for today. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any further queries, then do let us know in the comment section below. We will reach out to you immediately. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video and giving us your precious time. See you again.